So, I need to do this because it was on my head, really on my head. So, this video come because I was having a conversation with one of my followers, and it's definitely a thing because I felt it. So I thought like, generally just speak about it because there's probably a lot of people that feel like it, and I don't want you to ever be discouraged or have to feel like you have to change yourself, like you're not worthy of love, or because of how you are, who you are, the characteristics that you possess, and make you feel like you need to change yourself. Because I was like that, and I just got to the point where I am now, thinking, knowing that like I just don't feel like you're worthy of me, don't deserve me if you can't accept me in my entirety. Basically, in this shitty community that we're in, because we don't really have a community, right? I know for a fact a lot of the prejudice that we face, colorism, internal homophobia, it all derives from apps. Stay there, stay with me. I'm onto something right now because I'm analysing this for myself, okay? And on those apps, it derives from what men want. And the men that really have the upper hand in this community are actually DL men. I'm not talking about around the world. I'm talking about especially here in the United Kingdom. Because one thing I've noticed is our black community is actually quite small. And it's small in the sense that you would have either spoken to someone before, someone, or someone that's been with that person or knows of that person. It's very easy to be connected to somebody that you're talking to. Yeah, you can be in London, speak to someone, and I can guarantee you, if I don't know them, if I haven't spoken to them, if I haven't seen them, my friend knows them. It's very much like that. Nothing is really, there's not much things that are inconspicuous. So, and it's because a large part of this community is DL and they're not out. And it is a problem because those people cause a lot of trouble for us that are out. So we get judged more, we get overlooked more, and you're gonna see like slightly more femme boys and more of us that have feminine attributes, because we're out. So you get to a point where you just don't care, and you just see more of that. And there's a lot of people that judge that and like, oh my god, if you want to be a girl, if you're this, if you're doing this, you want to do this, you want to be this, you want to be like this. And it's not necessarily that. Some people are just who they are. We're just who we are. But we get treated like the bottom of the barrel type of gays, which is so annoying considering that half of these people aren't even out anyway. And then the ones that are out, that aren't, how do I say it? That aren't maybe as flamboyant and stuff, sometimes they're the ones that exhibit toxic masculinity. So they wouldn't really look at someone like me. They'll be like, oh, he's too this, he's too that. Do you know what I mean? So there's always some type of barrier somewhere. But when you're out and you're femme, you really are the bottom of the barrel in this community. And it's so sad because it's like there's so much people that desire you in secret, but they don't want you openly. And then the ones that want you openly, a lot of those people are just fuckboys anyway. It's so true. Like, a lot of the people that can potentially be out are still not all the way together. Like, I can't describe it. So it's really hard. It's really hard being femme and being out. Now, this video isn't really to attack anyone or anything. I'm just showing you something where a lot of insecurities can derive from. Because I always wondered, I had to analyze myself. And I always wondered where the insecurities really started. I know as a black man, we all have trauma. Well, not every black man, but majority of us have trauma. But I do believe that you need to get to a certain point where you take responsibility for your healing. Okay? There's a lot of people out here broken and going around broken, and hurt people. And you knowingly know what you're doing. You knowingly know what you cannot offer someone. You knowingly know what you're doing to people. and you're choosing to use excuses about past trauma or because this happened, because that happened, none of that's irrelevant once you already have enough knowledge to take responsibility for your actions. And when you can't take responsibility for your actions, you have to suffer the consequences. And karma is real. So regardless if you're going around here all willy-nilly thinking that you're not going to get caught with the shit that you're doing, you will. You will suffer one way or another because you don't go around taking genuine people for granted and using people. And that's one thing I hate about this stupid community that I happen to be a part of, which is hardly any community because we're not united in any way, is because there's so much of us that get taken for granted, you know? And I feel so bad because I feel like when a lot of boys are femme or they have a femme attribute, and let me just say, when you're flamboyant, you always end up having to be kind of the one that has to compromise in situations, in relationships, especially because you're most likely 9 times out of 10 to be with someone that is not out. And so you compromise, you dumb down yourself for someone that literally ends up kind of betraying you, because like in this community it's very rife to be betrayed in one way or another. it's a thing. You think you're gonna get into a loving relationship, you better be prepared. It's horrible to say, but you better be prepared to be betrayed, let down, or something. Something always happens. Something always happens when you're dealing with a black gay man. Always. And it's horrible that it's like that. And then if you think that you're fine with this person, before you know it, it'll just creep from under you. That's why I always say there's a difference between being private and being secretive, you know? Don't ever allow someone to make you feel like a dirty little secret. It's perfectly fine to be private and not be telling people about your business. But at the end of the day, you are who you are and you're in a relationship with this person. That's what people know. You don't feel like a dirty little secret. And I don't want my fellow brothers to ever, and non-binary, sorry. My fellow brothers, them and they. I'm getting it. Ugh, so trust me, it takes some getting used to. To ever feel like you have to compromise who you are just for the sake of love, because someone should love you regardless, you know. We compromise on things like, there's stuff that when you get into a relationship that you naturally do. So obviously there'll be stuff that I might not wear when I want to go out, you know. I'll compromise on like, well, who's going to pay when we go to a restaurant, who's staying where when we want to sleep at each other's house, who's going to cook tonight, me or you. Anything to do with sharing my body, anything to do with dumbing myself down, I should not compromise, because you came here knowing who I am. I never hid nothing from you. So I shouldn't have to compromise anything here, you know? If you're going to grow in a relationship, you grow together authentically. Nothing should need to be requested. Do you know? Anything that you feel like you need, you tell people at the start of a relationship, and then you have the choice. People are allowed choices, you know? But a lot of people always, I feel like when you're femme, you're definitely undervalued, you know? And it's really sad, to be honest, because I feel like people just look at your attributes and they see you from a distance and they already judge you. A book being judged by its cover, because it's like you being femme, it's instantly someone's already emasculating you. Like, you're bottom, you're this, you're that. And what if just happens if you're just a flamboyant person? You know how many straight men there are in the world that exude feminine attributes and they couldn't be classified as femme, but does it make them any less of a man? It doesn't. But in this community, it makes you much less than a man, and it makes you bottom of the barrel. And it causes people to be depressed because you're already being judged. You've come out to be who you are. You stand in your truth, and you're still being judged in a community that you're meant to be united in, and by men that you want to be with. So then you change. You start doing this, you start doing that. And I remember where I went through a point where I tried to change, boy. I tried to change the way I was dressing, tried to do this, tried to do that. And it still never got me nowhere because I still wasn't happy with myself. And it's so weird because people make you, they label you, so they make you feel more worse and more obvious than you actually are. Because when I'm around my girls, they don't see me as feminine, which is so weird. They're like, no, we don't see you as feminine. Like, I'm like, really? Because here, in this community, boy, I'm femme, I'm laying. They're like, no, we don't see you like that. And it's so weird. How can you be around women that they don't see you as feminine, but as soon as you're with a man, oh my God, blah, blah. And one thing I hate as well is because when, like this would be my everyday, to be honest. Like, this is how I dress. But to someone else, if I was to take a picture like this, you are serving me trade, you are serving me, it's like to Jesus Christ. What? I don't understand what I'm serving. I'm not serving anything. I'm wearing a puffer, a black t-shirt and tracksuit bottoms. How is that serving anything but casual wear? We need to stop putting so much labels on things, because I can't even say that, because it derives from what these people want on apps. You guys don't understand how much apps play a part in this community. These apps have set the tone for how we get judged in the community. If it weren't for like how people were on apps and apps didn't exist, which will kind of be, it's like a catch-22, to be honest, because they are actually important when you're coming out and stuff, but in the same aspect, they cause so much harm because people misuse them. And the thing with this community, they over-sexualize everything. Now, Tinder is just, people are just looking for sex on Tinder. When I first ever heard about Tinder, it was literally for love. Tinder is not advertised as a sex site. Grindr is advertised as a sexual site. But then you find people like that, they just move over to anything that's good. You have a whole heap of gay men, that move over to anything that's good, tarnish it and over-sexualize it. And now suddenly people are on there just looking for sex, just looking for hookups, just looking, and it infuriates me, because I don't understand, like, you're going to now these platforms that is now mixing with people that actually want something genuine, and you're not there to offer that. You're incapable of offering that because you do not want to offer that. You just want to get yourself off. And then these people end up heartbroken, and then the recycle repeats itself, because there's a lot of people that are just petty in the world and they just want to repay people with all the hurt that's happened to them. And that's what I told you, hurt people, and we have a massive cycle where everyone ends up single. The majority of people just want to have sex. And then you have people that when they get into relationships, they're incapable of loving their partner just in a monogamous relationship. They have to be open, polygamous. You know what? I don't know the right term. I can never pronounce it. My English is terrible pronouncing stuff. But we are going to get a whole video on that very soon, because I'm going to break it down on why I just think that I just don't agree with open relationships. I feel like having a third person in the bedroom, there could never be any good that can come from entering someone sexually into your bedroom. I don't know. I never understand it, to be honest. Especially when two men are concerned. Never a good look. But whatever. Anyway, I just want you guys to know that you're perfect the way you are. Don't ever allow a man to come into your life and make you feel like you have to change who you are or how you are. Because a lot of these people, majority of these people that come into our lives are so temporary. So don't make permanent decisions on temporary people. Like, it will never work. I used to do that all the time. And then when they left, I would be heartbroken. And I'd be like, why? And I'd be like, because I put so much emphasis on what this person was saying. Change who I was, compromise everything about me just so this person could stay. Like, I'm not worthy of anything. Like, you're not worthy of me because you came into my life and you need to accept me the way I am. I don't go around requesting that you need to change this, that, and that. But when people hear, oh. You know what then you could do? You can fuck off. That's why no one is here now, and that's why no one will be here. Because I can't deal with all of this shit. I'm just here to be a voice for my people, okay? Besides all the you fuckers, yeah, fuck you. You're all going to hellfire for everything you do to people. Oh my gosh. Understand, you think you can go around hurting people and you're going to get away with it? Yeah. Especially despite this whole pandemic and everything that's going on. It's so crazy, right? That something can affect the whole world and people still have the same mentalities to do these things and take people for granted. Shouldn't it make people appreciate people more, appreciate things more, appreciate life more? So crazy. Tell you, if you're messing with someone that still has the same mentality they did before this pandemic, you need to cut them off, because you're never going to get what you need from a person like that. No compassion, no empathy. Oh, what are you? Just useless. Whatless human being. My God, you keep giving yourself to someone like that, that person will end up being your own karma. My gosh. Terrible. Tired, man, of people feeling so worthless and so unworthy just because of who they are, and this because of the way this community likes to put people into categories and just emasculate you, when the root cause is from people that aren't even fucking out, requesting everything under the sun when you're not even capable of giving anything, let alone even be out. But you're requesting the whole world, requesting everything. You're not even out. Can you imagine? I'm going and I'll see you in the next video. It might be next year. Bye, guys.